I love Ultrakill, but you know what's missing? Anime girls. I downloaded every single Ultrakill mod to see if the game is even playable, and the answer is no. Well, yes, but barely. Truth is, I've never even played modded Ultrakill, so I wanted to dip my toe in and try out some mods. The problem is, when I open the directory, they all look so enticing. I mean, how do you expect me to choose between Ultra Shit and Ultrakill Femboy Edition? So I did the only rational thing and downloaded literally every mod. And you're probably thinking, that's a terrible idea. And you would be right. My goal was simple. Just beat the game. And now that's pretty easy. I've beaten Ultrakill literally hundreds of times. I speedrun the game for God's sakes. But did I mention that I downloaded literally every mod? Also, this was all streamed over on twitch.tv/GrateNate69, so go check that out. When I entered the first level, I was met with Femtokill, and then I was immediately met with like 3 mind flayers and was instantly killed. So I decided to skip this room using this shortcut, and then I was met with 3 spoon-wielding ferrymen who instantly killed me. So I had to restart and do it again. I skipped the mind flayers, I ran past the ferrymen wielding spoons, just to be met with about 30 different Cerberuses. And this cycle just kept repeating until... You're probably wondering what just happened. Well, if you look at the top of your screen, you're probably noticing this timer counting down. That's because of this mod right here. Every 30 seconds, a random event occurs. Well, most of these events do pretty much nothing, like just spawn plushies or play some random audio. What the f? There's a good chunk of them that just make the game entirely unplayable for the next 30 seconds. But a very small select few of them actually help me. And if you've never seen JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, the world just stops time for 30 seconds. So with the power of the world, I'm able to just waltz right past these guys without even looking at them twice. And just as I run out of time, I squeeze past this gutterman and hit the next checkpoint. This is when I ran into my first big problem. The only weapons I have are the Blades of Chaos and my stock revolver. Now, I'm really good at Ultrakill. In fact, I was top 50 in the world at some point. Please don't fact check that. But am I really good enough to beat an entire room of late game enemies using only my revolver? Probably not. And after dying a bunch of times in this room and a few hours going by, I discovered this thing that is going to carry this run. Fisting. Punching. There are like 6 different mods that increase the punching speed, and all of those combined allow me to punch so fast that it literally makes the game run slower, allowing me to pretty much slow down the game depending on how fast I'm able to punch. And the only thing that's preventing me from one-shotting enemies is how fast I'm able to click the F button. Using this newfound tactic, I was able to breeze through this checkpoint. And just when I was dreading the next part, I was randomly knocked out of bounds. This is not cheating, this is how the game was meant to be played. So after making it to the final checkpoint completely legitimately, I did now kill every enemy in this room. Look, I don't know who this Fento guy is or what his beef with me is, but you're an asshole. Even with my God Fist, I was unable to even kill a single enemy because most of them had invulnerability, so I was unable to kill them before I even whacked their statue. And then for some reason, Jesus spawns in and just starts fucking with me too. Bruh. At this point, I was seriously contemplating quitting the challenge. I mean, I'd spent over an hour on a level that I've beaten in under a minute before, and I do not think I can endure too much more of this. But then, I heard it. So I just punched all these guys and I walked out. Luckily, Fento only made 1 level, so I really only had to deal with this bullshit for about an hour. The next few levels went about the same as usual, except for the fact that Sword Machine is now Hatsune Miku for some reason. So now I had finally arrived at Cerberus and could start playing the actual game. Something is slightly different here. Yeah, there's nothing really different about Limbo, it just kind of gave me a headache. This is the Limbo is LSD mod, and it changes literally nothing but the skybox kind of like reverberates or whatever the hell this is called. And surprisingly, somehow it made it so much harder to play. Look, I'm not normally like photosensitive or whatever the hell it's called, but oh my god, I could have moved like 5 meters without getting a headache. But you know, I beat the levels, easy peasy lemon squeezy, threw soap on this guy, he explodes, whatever. But then we had to face V2.
So I wonder if this is gonna be harder or easier.
Spoiler, it was harder.
Dude, oh, he's clocking me hard. Bro.
So, if you couldn't tell, he's a lot faster. But after enough time, I was finally able to kill him through the power of my sheer will and dedication.
Oh. Okay, he's fucked. He's actually fucked. There's no way he lives this, bro. There's so many coins. It's an abysmal amount of coins. Okay. Well, that was easy.
Yeah, that was not sheer will and dedication. Pretty much what happened there is I picked up so many double guns that I was like sextuple wielding. And on top of that, whenever you right click with the marksman rifle, it throws out a random number of coins. So I was just stacking coins right there. There's probably about 800 coins in the air at once, and they just all bounced off each other right into V2's butthole. And well, the rest is history. Now let's descend into everyone's favorite layer, Lust. This is my favorite layer, but apparently modders don't like this layer. Maybe I just didn't download the right mod, but literally nothing changed. So I'm just gonna spare you the boredom and let's skip to the King Minos fight.
I am the guy that made Ultrakill lore for. Yeah, that's me, boys. Bro. Do I just have to sit here for 30 seconds now? No HUD? I can handle no HUD. I can handle no HUD. Fucking throw me at no HUD any day of the week. Shit.
Honestly, King Minos wasn't that hard. There wasn't really any changes to him. The only thing that was kind of hard was the constant barrage of events that were throwing me off. But after a few attempts, I noticed something was slightly different about the game. Like every time I died, something would change slightly until the fight ended up looking like this.
What is bro doing up there? Get it? Alright, let's just shoot his gooch for a little bit, I guess. Gooch shots. Fucking hit him in the balls, boys.
And sooner or later, the good shots got to him and, well, he died. I cleared 3-1 pretty flawlessly, and then it was time to fight the first big boss of the game, Gabriel. Gabe is hard, but if you've put as many hours as I have in Ultrakill, honestly, he's not that bad. So I was hoping there were no changes to this fight and I could be out of there in no time.
Alright, boys. Time to fucking lock in. What the fuck did he just say?
So as you can see, there were quite a few changes. Not only did he move like 18 times faster, he also had like 5 new attacks. He had this carpet bomb move, which was hell to deal with. And honestly, I think he downloaded some kind of aimbot because he never missed a single dash. I was also for some reason incredibly committed to using my Blades of Chaos, even though they did no damage, at least compared to my pistol or my fist. So I had a lot of adapting to do. But then,
oh no.
I don't know why Gravity just decided to pull a 180, throwing pretty much everything I had just been trying to learn out the window, and taking this fight into the sky, which was also Gabriel's domain.
I have to get down. I hate his second phase so much.
But then it began to rain. Not your traditional rain, it began to rain stuffed animals. And while first this was a giant inconvenience as I was just rummaging through a pile of stuffed animals trying to find Gabe, eventually the stuffed animals decided to throw me a bone.
Going down, Gabe. It's the last damn thing I do. Giving your pussy ass. Cute ass, twink ass, bitch. Oh no, did my game crash? Oh no, we're framing, bro. How did he die?
Look, I'm not 100% sure what happened there. I think he was killed by all the collisions of the plushies, but honestly, I have no clue. After that brave and incredible and awesome and skillful victory, I made my way onto the next layer. And when I first loaded into the level, I was experiencing a lot of lag, so I was fully prepared for this level to be hell. But when I walked outside, there wasn't really anything there. So I just continued the level as normal.
I was fully expecting something large to happen. Oh, that actually might be it.
Well, then that giant floating head just vanished. I don't really know why he was there, but I just carried on with my day. I beat the next 3 levels, and then I had to face the second V2 fight. There's an earth mover here. Where the fuck is the earth? Why is there an earth mover? Look, I was dreading this much more than I was dreading the Gabe fight because I already fought V2 once and I knew that in this fight, I can't use coins on him because he just freezes them in midair. I can't shoot all these coins in time. Better yet, he's probably just going to turn the coins right back on me and do all that damage into my butthole. But then when I stepped into the fight, there were 3 different bosses. There was this earth mover that I had no way of killing, so he was just raining hellfire on me the entire fight. And then of course V2 and whoever the hell Bob is. And right after I kill Bob, Jesus gets reincarnated and kills me right back. And so I'm struggling here. I'm on the ropes. I'm being tag teamed until... Look, I get it. I know I'm being carried by JoJo's Bizarre Adventure here, but I need all the help I can get. Luckily, because of this, I'm able to kill both phases of V2, get the grappling hook, and finish the level. Once we get next layers, I clear 5-1 pretty easily, now onto 5-2. I clear the level, now it's time to fight the ferryman, but for some reason, the bridge to him is just not spawning, so I have to hit some insane god tier parkour like the gaming legend I am, and I kick his ass. Oh. So I clear out the ship, kill the Leviathan, and move on to layer 6. So do you remember when I was fighting V2 and I said that when I right click with the marksman revolver, it throws out a random number of coins? Well, it turns out I was lying. See, in this layer, I discovered that when I right click, it's not throwing out a random number of coins, but instead it's throwing out an unlimited number of coins. See, whenever I right click, it just keeps going. It doesn't stop. Before I was just tapping it, so I thought it was a random number of coins, but now that I'm holding it down, it's just an endless flow of money. So all I gotta do is just enter a room and hold down right click. And now obviously this is too OP, so I'm not gonna use it. Except for here, and here, and here. But since it made the game so easy, I decided that I would not be using it during the Gabriel boss fight, because I wanted to have a sense of completion once I finished the game. So I walked in the room, fully prepared for a fully legitimate fight. Yeah, okay. GG, Gabe. You actually just got the worst fucking buff. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Literally, the second the fight starts, you get the everything is slow debuff. Aw, this isn't even fair. I'm fucking knuckle blasting your butthole, dude. Oh, this is just unfortunate for you, but not for me. I'm fucking having a grand old time. I thought this fight was going to take me 6 hours. We didn't even find out if anything was different. Look, I tried my hardest to make the fight fair. It's not my fault the game just wanted me to have a freebie. So I took the W and moved on to the next layer. Look, do I think it's cool to abuse unfair game mechanics? No, I don't. But at no point in this video did I ever claim to be cool. I mean, I'm playing fucking Ultrakill, for Christ's sakes. Okay, this is like new level tech that I just found. Bro. So after one-shotting my way through the entirety of layer 7, I was finally on the Earth Mover, aka the last level of the game. And I decided out of fairness that I would not be using my coin tech. So that meant that I was going into Earth Mover raw. Okay, before you watch this gameplay, let's get something out of the way. Earth Mover is scary. Earth Mover is hard. I don't like the Earth Mover. So if I do bad, please don't judge me too harshly. So by the time I made it to the first boss room, I just kept dying. Whether it was to Jesus, or whether it was to some random event, or whether it was to the onslaught of projectiles that were being thrown at me, I just kept on dying. Honestly, I think Jesus was only showing up as divine punishment for me abusing the coin mechanics. But with enough perseverance and dedication, I was finally able to move on. And now it was time to fight the brain. Luckily, gravity had reversed itself, and this time it actually helped me because I could just sit at the top of the level and shoot the brain. So he died pretty quickly, but then the timer started counting down, and I had to make it out of the level before the Earth Mover exploded, which is definitely easier said than done when gravity is actively working against you. But I had no choice. Everything was leading up to this moment. All I had worked for the past 6 hours was for this moment right here. I had to make it out. I had to make it out of the Earth Mover. I can't get down. So there I was, just drifting off into space forever, questioning whether even if this was a good idea, questioning if this was even worth my time. Now as I drifted off, I was left with the unlimited grasp of space and time to think about everything, to think about this run, to think about my life, and to think about whether this was really worth my time. And the answer was fuck no. Now the video is over. Let's get the formalities out of the way. Like and subscribe, It means a lot. Maybe even drop a membership. But let's address the elephant in the room. If you play a lot of mod at Ultrakill, you might have noticed it wasn't actually every mod. I know, shocker. And as much as I would like for it to be every mod, it is just not possible. Some mods just aren't compatible with each other, and some mods outright just don't work with my computer, or just overwhelmed the game so much to the point that I would only be able to run that in like 3 other mods. Now, this is still a collection of over 75 different mods, of which I will leave in the description below if you want to attempt this as a challenge or something. I don't know. But I did, I guess bullshit it. And if you care about that, I'm sorry. I wish I was playing on a NASA supercomputer and could actually run all of these at once, but unfortunately I'm not, and I'm left to my plebeian office store computer. So before you leave that comment, I don't know, drop a membership and give me money so maybe I can afford a NASA supercomputer. But thank you for watching this far. Check out the Twitch streams, twitch.tv/GrateNate69. They're really good and awesome and cool. But anyways, that's everything I have for right now. I hope you have a good day. Bye-bye.